My sponsor Rock Bottom is currently running a special deal. Head on over to rockbottomcoins.com and use code Zirksee at checkout for a 30% off your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video. Today, I'm going to be going over the most underrated player from every team in Madden 20. So if there's another player you guys think I should have chose for a team, or a guy you feel is not actually underrated, comment down below and let me know why. And of course, make sure you guys hit that sub button because we are about to be getting a ton of Madden 20 news and Madden 20 Ultimate Team news, I believe, starting next week. So make sure you guys turn the notification bell on so you do not miss any info. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and get right into it, and we're going to start off with the Jets first off, and that's going to be CJ Mosley. Now, the reason I chose CJ Mosley because honestly, the Jets don't have a lot of underrated players. I'll say that. CJ Mosley has been one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. At an 87 overall, I feel is a little bit low. I was also considering Jamal Adams for this because he's only a 90 and he did make All-Pro, but I decided to go with CJ Mosley. That's the Jets. I should also mention that I did ask Twitter to help me out with this a bit because I was looking at some teams, and honestly, I was looking at them, I was like, well, this looks pretty decent, but I think there is one or two players, honestly, from every team that I feel, though, are very underrated, and Nick Chubb is one of them. I believe Pro Football Focus actually ranked this man as the #1 running back in the league. I believe in terms of just strictly when he's running the ball, he is the best in the league. Nick Chubb definitely was a beast. I believe he eclipsed 1,000 yards, or at least was very, very close to 1,000 yards. At 85 overall, I feel as though Nick Chubb is probably going to run for maybe 1,100, 1,200 yards this year, depending on how they actually use Kareem Hunt, which I believe Kareem Hunt is actually ranked as the higher running back. So, is what it is. Nick Chubb's only an 85, though. Next is Kevin Byard, and not only are people on Twitter mad, but also NFL players are pretty mad about this. I saw Tyrann Mathieu even say Kevin Byard should be no lower than a 94 overall because he is an absolute beast, and I have to agree with him. This man definitely is a ball hawking safety for the Titans out there, and only an 89 overall is definitely pretty disrespectful for someone that was just an All-Pro 2 years ago and still is playing at a very, very high level. And I'm going to be honest here with the Raiders. I was looking at the team, and it was pretty hard to find someone that I thought was underrated. I was thinking maybe Derek Carr. He's only an 80 overall, but then I took a look at his stats, and honestly, it's probably good he's just an 80 overall. I did ask on Twitter, and it seems as though Gareon Conley was the most requested person to put on this list, according to Twitter. So Raiders fans, let me know down below if you think any other player in the team is more underrated than Gareon Conley, but he's only a 79. That's the Raiders. And obviously for the Cowboys, I have to go with Leighton Vander Esch. Not going to go with Dak Prescott because in my opinion, Leighton Vander Esch is way more underrated. Even though Leighton is an 86, Dak's like an 81. Leighton should probably be at least a 90 overall in my opinion. There's no doubt about it. Yes, I know he was a rookie, but this man was 3rd in the NFL in tackles as a rookie. He definitely shows that he has some promise, and not just that. I also asked last night, actually, Moonlight Swami, I asked him because he makes the ratings. What is up with the ratings for some of these players like Delaney Walker, who is a 92, but the man had 4 catches last year and 50 yards and 0 touchdowns. How is he a 92? He said when it comes to injuries, they do not degrade players or, take them down overall just based off injuries. They want to see them actually play. So to me, Leighton Vander Esch, right, he didn't even play the most time because he actually was splitting time still with Sean Lee. I believe Leighton probably played, like random guess here, probably about 80% of the snaps, but still, 20% of the snaps, Sean Lee was probably in there, and Leighton Vander Esch only being 86 for 3rd in the NFL, not even being in there every single snap. Pretty crazy. Next, of course, is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers last year was a 99 overall. Then this year, he comes in, throws for over 4,000 yards, I believe, with 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and he drops 9 points. That's pretty dang crazy to me that Aaron Rodgers dropped from a 99 to a 90 in 1 year, and a lot of people think that he still had a very, very good year. Maybe he doesn't deserve to be a 99, but at least a 95 or 96. I believe that Aaron Rodgers is still obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I believe he's not even ranked in the top 5, so that's pretty bad. Next for the Panthers, I'm going to go with Cam Newton. Now, I've seen a lot of Panthers fans be really, really mad about this one. Cam Newton only being an 84 overall. Personally, I know he didn't have the greatest season. Obviously, his shoulder was hurt. I believe Cam Newton by the end of this year will probably end up being more towards 89, 90 overall. I really love Cam Newton, and I hope that after the shoulder surgery, he can really put it all together, because apparently he can't even throw more than like 30 or 40 yards. That are really hurting. So Cam Newton, 84 overall. A lot of people think this was way too low. Next up for the Seahawks, I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. Another guy I saw was Tyler Lockett, but he's an 87 overall. And honestly, I feel like that might be a little bit too high for Tyler Lockett. But Russell Wilson at a 91 overall, a lot of people think that he should be at least a 93 or 94. Besides him, I really didn't see any other Seahawks fans actually comment something else. So I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. As for the Eagles, someone that definitely got kind of snubbed this year in terms of upgrades in Madden 19 Ultimate Team. He ended the year with a 95 overall. Lane Johnson is definitely one of the best right tackles in the NFL, and he's only starting off the year as an 89 overall. In my opinion, again, as one of the best right tackles in the NFL, one of the best players of your position, you should probably be at least a 91 or 92 overall. And to me, I think Lane Johnson is just a little bit too low. And of course, Drew Brees, who is only a 92. This man was very close to being the MVP. And if it weren't for Patrick Mahomes throwing 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, I feel as though Drew Brees probably would have been the NFL MVP. So for him to not even be ranked in the top 3 QBs, the top 4 QBs, is pretty disrespectful. And the fact that they have Phillip Rivers ranked above this man is pretty crazy to me. I love Phillip Rivers. I think that Phillip Rivers is one of the most underrated players in the NFL. But my God, he is not better than Drew Brees. Brees should not be a 92, and Phillip Rivers, I believe, is a 94, so that's just insane to me. Brees should probably be a 94. Next is going to be Chandler Jones, who's coming in with only an 82 overall, which honestly, I don't understand why. It seems like every year they just continue to disrespect this man. In 2017, he had 17 sacks. Last year, which is what they're basing this off of, he had 13 sacks. How is a 13 sack monster in 82 overall? Does that make any sense to me, Cardinals fans? Because that just honestly does not make any sense. Chandler Jones, yeah, it should be like an 88 or 89 at least. Now, honestly, looking at the Giants roster, you can really only make a case for one player to get an upgrade. In my opinion, that's Saquon Barkley, which is pretty crazy because he's already a 91 overall. But as the offensive rookie of the year, and this man honestly had a crazy statistical year, I believe he should be about a 93. I know that they don't like to give rookies too high of ratings, but if you're just strictly looking at stats, what this man was able to do, how he played on the field, he definitely deserves to be at least a 93 overall. I'd put him right behind Ezekiel Elliott, and of course Todd Gurley as the #1 running back. I'd put him at a 93 because Zeke is a 94. Next is going to be Danielle Hunter. I believe it's Danielle or Daniel. I'm pretty sure it's Danielle Hunter. A lot of Vikings fans have said that he is by far the most underrated player. I've also seen Xavier Rhodes, so either of those two, but Hunter actually had 14.5 sacks. That's even more than Chandler Jones. So that's pretty dang crazy to me that he is only rated at an 86 overall for one of the NFL sack leaders. Obviously, Aaron Donald had a crazy year, but Hunter should probably be closer to 90 overall, in my opinion. Does have really good speed, 88 speed, 90 acceleration, so he's going to be a beast online, but he needs to have a little bit better stats and probably close to a 90. Calvin Ridley was one of the NFL's best rookie wide receivers, and I believe at a time, Julio Jones led the league in receiving yards. Calvin Ridley led the league in touchdowns. He didn't at the end, but he still ended the season with 821 yards, 64 catches, and 10 touchdowns as a rookie. That's pretty impressive. 79 overall is definitely not impressive. He is ranked behind Mohamed Sanu, who was an 82. Ridley, in my opinion, probably should be closer to 85, maybe 86 overall. Definitely has shown a lot of promise, and I think this man is going to really step it up this year. And I even saw his own reaction to his ratings, and he was not happy. So what's crazy to me is that Kittle is ranked as the 4th highest tight end, again, behind Delaney Walker, who is extremely overrated as 92. But George Kittle, at a 90 overall, this man broke the NFL record for receiving yards in a single season by a tight end. That is why I believe he should be ahead of Delaney Walker. I have nothing personally against Delaney Walker. I've seen a lot of Titans fans commenting that on my last couple videos because I've been talking about him. It's just the fact that he literally had 4 catches last year and he's ranked ahead of George Kittle. Makes zero sense to me. Kittle broke the NFL record for most receiving yards. He should probably be tight end #2, or you can make a case to have the same overall as Travis Kelce and make him a 96. He at least deserves a 95 or 94. In the 2018 season, Ryan Kerrigan had 13 sacks for the second year in a row, and I don't think an 87 overall really displays that too well. So I feel as though Kerrigan, again, 13 sacks, really the same as Chandler Jones, probably 88, 89, potentially 90 overall. I think that Kerrigan's just slightly low in 87. Next is the Bears, and I'm going to go with Mitch Trubisky. Now, you could also go with maybe Akeem Hicks in this situation, Allen Robinson, but it seems like most Bears fans are saying that Mitch Trubisky should have had a way higher overall. He's a 75. His stats weren't that great. I'd say maybe 78 or 79 though. If you take a look at the other people that he is actually around in his ratings, I think he's definitely better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think Mitch Trubisky should be a 79 or 80, but probably not much higher than that. Now, I love how I was talking about Chandler Jones, who had 13 sacks and ended up getting 82 overall, I believe. Jason Pierre-Paul got a 78 overall with 12 and a half sacks for Tampa Bay. That is pretty dang crazy to me. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't watch that many Bucs games, so to find out he had 12 and a half sacks, I was kind of shocked that just Pierre-Paul was able to do that. So 78 overall, yeah, that's pretty low for 12 and a half sacks. And this one's going to be a little bit nitpicky, but as I've said, I went through all the teams, and with the Rams, again, I mean, you could potentially say Jared Goff because he did have a pretty solid season, and I believe he's only an 83 overall, but I'm going to go with Johnny Hekker, one of the best punters in the NFL, obviously, usually ranked as the top punter in the NFL, if not a top 2 or top 3. You can put him in at 90. This one's just kind of a, don't really know who to put here, so I'm going to go with Johnny Hekker. Now, I feel as though Lions fans are not the biggest fan of the Madden ratings that they actually received this year. Matt Stafford got a 79. Damon Harrison got a 95, which a lot of Lions fans are saying is still very underrated for Damon Harrison. Should be like a 97, 98 apparently. Darius Slay, Kenny Galladay. I'm going to go Matt Stafford. This man is a 79 overall, and he's definitely a franchise QB. He actually played this entire year apparently with a broken back, so that's pretty dang crazy for the stats that he put up. I think Stafford should be probably closer to 83 or 84. And again, taking a look at the Jags, I couldn't really find someone I thought was extremely underrated. I know Leonard Fournette's like a 70 or an 81. Nick Foles, I think, is 77, but you take a look at his stats, he really didn't even play that good. So I'm going to go with Miles Jack, who's only an 83 overall and definitely one of the better linebackers in the NFL. I'm not really sure how much higher he could potentially be ranked, but I feel as though Jags are kind of one of the most, like, fairly ranked teams. And the Chiefs' new pickup, Frank Clark, who had 13 sacks this past year, only got an 83. Again, 13 sacks. What is up with Chandler Jones and Frank Clark getting these low overall ratings? I think they both should be at least 87, 88, or potentially 89 overall with 13 sacks. For the Ravens, I am going to go with Lamar Jackson. Now, the reason I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson, I know he did not have the best statistical season ever, but this man's a 76 overall. That is extremely, extremely bad for what he was able to do. I know he only had 6 touchdowns and 3 interceptions throwing the ball with 1,200 yards, but the way this man was putting together wins and what he was doing on the ground was definitely extremely impressive. I think he could potentially only be like a 79 or 80 at best, but 76 to me is way too low. And the NFL leader in tackles, Darius Leonard, and Defensive Rookie of the Year, is an 84 overall. That's crazy to me that Leonard's an 84, right? And Leighton Van Der Esch's an 86. They both should be way higher, but the fact that Leighton Van Der Esch is higher and he still, didn't even lead the league in tackles, he was 3rd, and Darius Leonard had more tackles than him, doesn't make sense to me. Darius Leonard definitely maybe the most underrated player in the game right now. And another rookie is going to be Bradley Chubb for the Broncos. You could also potentially say Philip Lindsay, who had an 86, I believe, but Chubb is only an 80, and again, another double-digit sack artist. 12 sacks for Bradley Chubb, and he's only an 80 overall. Now, Xavier Howard, this man was an all-pro second-team selection, and yet he only got an 83 overall. Does that make any sense to you? He's not even ranked, I believe, as a top 10 corner in the game, which to me is mind-blowing that Xavier Howard is an 83 and he was an all-pro cornerback and he just got a massive contract extension. Obviously, the contract extension doesn't really prove anything, but the all-pro does. And again, another team that I couldn't really find anyone I thought was way too underrated is going to be the Bengals and Carlos Dunlap. Now, I could have gone with Tyler Boyd, who was only an 83 overall, and he did have over 1,000 yards, so Dunlap, Tyler Boyd, kind of make your pick between those two. Deshaun Watson definitely had a very improving year this year in 2018. He threw for 4,165 yards with 26 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He also had a QBR of 103.1, which is actually pretty solid. So Deshaun Watson, 82 overall. I definitely feel as though he's a lot better QB than an 82. And again, another all-pro selection. This one's going to be a safety, Derwin James, who only got an 86 overall as an all-pro. For some reason, they seem to kind of discredit the fact that they were all-pro safeties or all-pro players in general, because Derwin James is definitely one of the top safeties in the NFL, an 86 overall, and in my opinion, he should probably be at least like 92 or 91. He's an 86. That's pretty bad. Again, I was trying to look around for Bills that I thought were too underrated. I couldn't really find that many. So I'm going to go with Tremaine Edmonds here. He had quite a few tackles, but I don't really think that he's too underrated. It's just for the Bills, they're all just not very good. And for the NFL's leading passer, Big Ben, only getting 85 overall, I know has made a ton of Steelers fans mad. I also saw people say Pouncey, who was the other guy? Pouncey and Cameron Hayward as well. But I do think Big Ben is a little bit underrated at only an 85 overall. For an NFL Hall of Famer and someone that literally just led the league in passing yards, probably should be closer to 88 or 89, if not 90. And the final player is going to be Kyle Van Noy for the Patriots. Honestly, looking at the Pats, I think they're all pretty good rated. But I feel as though for the Patriots, Kyle Van Noy may be the most underrated, and in general, maybe one of the more underrated players in the NFL. That being said though, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, smack the like button, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you guys turn that notification bell on, because we are about to be getting a ton of Madden 20 Ultimate Team news, and in general, more Madden 20 news very soon. And if you think there's anyone that I should put on the list, maybe you want to switch a player out that I put on, let me know down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.